Hey guys, what's going on? Another day, another thing to fix. Keith here, Two Guys How To. It's actually a holiday today, but I almost never take off. I can't just sit around, and I'm sure you guys are probably like that too. That's why you're watching this video. So today I'm going to show you how to replace a motorcycle battery. If you go in, whether you buy something used or you got something new or you've just let something sit around, the batteries today just do not last. I'm a motor junkie. I've got some might say too much, I say never enough. But today we're working on this Hayabusa. I don't know if you guys can see it right here. It's a 2004 Hayabusa, limited edition, 1300 cc's motor. I used to ride this thing a lot. As you can see, I've got other stuff here. Dune buggies, 48 Ford, 63 Chevy Deuce, other bugs we work on that I own as well. And I've got a bunch of other stuff. So let's get busy today. We're just going to go over the types of batteries you can get and how to change that battery yourself instead of dropping it off at the store, towing it up there, paying an arm and a leg. You can do this stuff yourself. The stuff's available. Just order it online, do your research of the battery, and save that money. So let's get started. First and foremost, let's just go over the battery types. So let's go over to the workbench and see what we've got here. Alright, so now that we know that we're definitely going to change our battery, we've tested the battery, we've tried to charge the battery, or the bike completely has no battery installed, we need to look for getting a battery. So what I do, I always go by the best price. Sometimes that's not always the best case scenario. Like, I've never gotten a lot of good results out of the Bike Master batteries. I don't know why I tend to stay away from them. But you've got your different types of batteries. You've got your ones that when you order them, they come in the mail or you get it at the store. It's got these caps on the top, and you've got to physically, it comes with a little jug of water, and you got to take these caps off, each and every one. You fill up the water at the lowest level, and you fill it no more than this max level. And then you put this little cap back in here. And you do that each time. You pull these out, you fill in the water in that hole right in there, and you fill them all the way up. Those are okay. I've used those. Advancements have taken place, or we don't need to use those anymore if you don't have to. These also breathe. Each cell breathes out the top and comes over to this tube, or on your bike you might have this little tube like this that goes on there. And this feeds down through the bottom of the motor all the way down to the ground. That way, if this thing overheats or something's going on crazy in here, it spits your acid type water from the chemical reaction it has with the lead and the liquid. It'll squirt that down on the ground. Supposedly, I've had these squirt out on my exhaust before and totally discolor my exhaust and eat the chrome off. So I generally don't go with these liquid filled anymore. I've been leaning more towards the gel filled, which is right here. I ordered this one online. It's a Japanese make, I believe, by the name. That's why I kind of went with this one, because my bike is a Jap bike. On this one, I've got other Harleys that are American. But this one is totally sealed. If you can notice the top, there's none of those little corks that you got to pull out the plugs and fill up. There's no hole on the side that lets it leak out. It doesn't take any tube as this one does. There's no caps on this one, as well as this one, which is for a moped that I'm working on. So I bought the battery. The battery should come pre-charged. Inside these gel-filled ones, it's almost like when they get wet, they put the juice in at the factory. It has the chemical reaction, they swell out, and the different cells touch by this wicking system. So this battery can sit on any angle and never pour out. This battery here, if it tips over, you can see the liquid in there. On the side there, probably, it's pretty clear. You can see it drop down when I touch it and move it. And if this thing tips over on the side, you got bad business. Even during shipping, some places might not even allow you to ship this. So I've had a buddy left a battery in his trunk, and it tipped over and ate the leather out of his seats on this Audi that I sold him, and ruined those Ricardo seats. But not my problem. I sold the car to him. It's his fault for having it back there. But we got this battery. I'm going with the gel battery. You can make your decision. If you need to just get up and going, these are great. Just make sure that tube is installed right and goes all the way down to the ground on the motor. And I've got a Trickle Charger on these motorcycle batteries, 12 volt car batteries, motorcycle batteries, generally definitely on the motorcycle batteries, snowmobile, power equipment, jet skis. I get this, I'm using a Deltran, it's a battery tender plus. Basically, you hook this up, positive and negative on the connections, as I've got, the red is positive, black is negative. It goes to solid red, it'll show you charging, and it's got an indicator key right here. It tells you exactly what this thing does. Blinking fast, solid red, blinking fast and green, or solid green. So it started off in the solid green. And just as we were talking, you see it went solid, or I mean, it started off in solid red, and just as we were talking, it went to solid green. So it was flashing while it was charging in red, and then it floats. Now it's fully charged at 12 volts. It goes to green. This thing will sit there and do that all night until, so what I do is I usually do a 4 to 6 hour, maybe 8 hour charge right when I get the battery before I install it. That way I double check it with my tender here. This is a battery tender plus, and we know this battery is good to go. It accepted a full charge. It's ready to be installed. And I did it overnight while I slept, so it didn't even bug me today. I'm ready to install this thing, and I can go up the street and ride. And on this other one, I've got just a cheapie. This is a Harbor Freight or Chicago Electric. This is a battery float charger. This one charges at 2 amps. This one just floats it. So basically, now that this one's charged, we can go ahead and run this little float charger here. It'll just keep that thing kind of current, a little bit of current, all year long if you want. So if you're going to put something into storage, that's the way to go. You could do one of these float chargers like this small one here, and they screw right into the wall through these holes right there. Or you can run the battery tender that has different hookups here. You can take these off, and right in the middle here you unplug this and you put on a different tail that's permanently mounted to your battery. So you just plug this thing in for the winter time and you're good to go. I have too much stuff, so I would need about 40 of these in reality, or I'd have to take every battery out. Long story short, on this Hayabusa here, I have not ridden it in 4 years. I've got other things that I've been into, got out of the motorcycles and out of the crotch rockets, and just if I want, I usually kind of go. I've been going more into like the, you know, just the rat rod stuff. So, but this is my baby, and she's been good to me, and this thing's been awesome. Awesome bike. Almost too fast, but you can never go too fast, I guess. So let's get busy, and we're gonna put this new battery in this bike. I'm gonna show you how. We're gonna find the location. Do your research of what type battery your bike takes. Order the exact one, otherwise it might not fit in size and scale as far as height and width and length. So let's get busy. We know that battery's gonna fit. I ordered it, and let's dig into this thing and actually get this battery installed and show you how to do it. All right, so we're over at the bike, and I know my battery is underneath the seat. Most bikes are. Sometimes they might have a cover here on the side, maybe on the side over here to where it is. Most of them are underneath the seat, so once you find that out, if yours is under this cover on the side there, you can just run that route and get it that way. You know, take off your cover, and then the battery should slide up in there. Mine's under the seat, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get right down to it. Undo these 2 bolts. I got these 2 Allen head screws on this bike. Yours might be totally different. But let's go ahead and just get these out. However you need to get into where the battery is located, locate that first. Once you locate that, we can get in there and actually see what's up, and also see if the battery fits. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this out of here. Set this to the side. And lo and behold, there is our battery right down there. Can't miss it. So let's go ahead and get this thing up and out of here. Relatively simple. You've got your positive and your negative. This is your positive, this is your negative. Normally they have a red boot on them. My boots are a little bit beat up, and I cut the black one off years ago because I wired in another computer module that kind of spiked up the whole system and boosted it. So you can use a Phillips head, This looks like a 10 mil. I'm just going to go ahead and use the Phillips head. Take this battery on out. I'm going to undo the positive side first. It looks like it's got a washer and a bolt here. I'm going to set that to the side, and let's undo the positive side now. After we just did the negative, let's undo the positive side. And get that out, set that to the side, boom. So if we pull these cables back off of here, sometimes they look and they might seem stuck, but they're really not. They're just that tightly fit with this crook right here. It kind of, I don't know if you can see that, kind of crooks up like a C shape. So let's go ahead and get those off. Just wiggle those and they'll come up off of there. They look pretty clean. I might take a drill, a wire brush, and clean those up. I'll do that. Might show you guys that. If not, we'll just go ahead and get the battery in. Once you get that going, double check, make sure you got any wires, any wires that go to each side. You can take a picture on each side and remember where the wires go. This one has no additional wires, so we're good. Let's just pull this battery on out of here. There it is. This one worked for about one ride, and then it went to total crap. So actually, we're gonna hook up this other battery that goes to this other chip this time when I run it. I'm gonna hook up this ground wire and put it back in. So that's why I was saying, if you have any different wires, 2 to 1 or 1 to 1, no matter what, make sure you hook them up. So let's just go ahead and put that wire down in there. I had just had this battery set in to show you the video. I was already ready to change it, so I didn't hook that back up. But there's your cavity right there. The battery sits down in here, and that's why I said make sure you check online, do your research, make sure the height and the width is right, and this width here. So if not, it will not fit in there correctly. Plus, some batteries, you have your positive, which is the red coating, and you have your black, which is your negative. Sometimes those will be swapped around. So if you've got a battery like that and it had to be installed like this, your cables wouldn't really fit. They wouldn't reach. So then you're going to run into problems. So order the right battery, the right cranking amps for your unit, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so now that we've got the old battery out, we know it's no good. I've checked it. You can see down inside there on these clear topped ones, they're just a wicking gel. They just spread out and as they touch, but I didn't have any good luck with this one, this TMF. I don't know. I'm not saying anything bad, but I'm going with this one. I had one similar to this in my son's four-wheeler that lasted, it's been 5-6 years. It's a great battery, but the batteries are just getting junkier and junkier over time. Okay, so we've got the new battery, we got the old battery out, we're gonna install the new. This one comes with bolts. Most of them do. They'll come with a pack of bolts, and it'll come with these like square or rectangular nuts with the bolt, whether it's a 10 mil or a Phillips head. This one came already pre-installed, but it's got two configurations. You can either screw in through the front, or you can put the screw, take it out, and go through the top. So I need top mount on that bike we just removed, because the way it went in, it kind of crooked. I might have to go across like this at a different angle. We'll see when I'm there, but let's take this bolt out and I'll show you. And take these bolts out. There's that little square nut in the back, and I'll show you guys here in 1 second. Let's go ahead and pop that out. You can see what that looks like. It's just a square nut, and that goes right into it. I usually put a washer there, or a little lock washer, so it doesn't back out. And you can do whatever you want, or you can just come with what's supplied there. But that nut goes up in the back. Reason why it's square is because it fits up into that cavity right there. And it fits right in there perfect. That way it doesn't spin and turn on you when you're installing it. So I'm going to take that one out and put it in through the top. The tricky part with that is you got to get the hole to line up. But we'll fight with that once we get in there. You can see it's already giving me a headache, so I'm going to take these out. I've got some either petroleum jelly, or I use this Permatex dielectric grease, and I'm going to just squirt some of that up in there. That's going to hold that nut into place for me. Sometimes if that doesn't work, I put a little piece of styrofoam or paper back there to hold it in place, because they can be just a headache of having that nut actually stay in place. And I go ahead and I put some of that dielectric grease here on the terminals, wherever it's going to screw down. And that way it won't get any corrosion underneath there. So let's go ahead and just put those nuts back in now. Now they should stay in the top because that gel, that petroleum jelly, the dielectric grease, should keep it in and hold it in place for us pretty good. All right, so let's get on over to the bike and get our bolts. I'm gonna put 2 different washers on here and let's get this thing installed. I am actually gonna wire brush these while I've got a chance. I've got a drill with the wire brush head on it, and I'm just gonna go underneath lightly, clean off any corrosion that's in there. Yeah, there is a little bit underneath there. Yeah, it looks good and clean. Let's go to the positive terminal and do the same. Be careful when doing that. If it spins off, it'll hit your paint, ruin your paint. Okay, we got these wire brushed. We're going to go ahead and double check the battery. It says negative here to this negative, positive to this positive. So let's set it on down in there and see how this is going to fit. Make sure the fitament's good and not too high. We're going to have to double check that. It almost seems like it might be a little high. But tell you what, we can push these down and double check the seat, make sure it fits. Perfect fit. Sometimes these can be too tall and you got to really push the seat down, but I'm liking this battery. It's working out exactly according to plan. It's a tight fit, it doesn't move, it's gel filled. So let's go ahead and just get these new bolts installed here, and we will be ready to try to start this thing up. The gas has been 4 years old, locked in here. This bike is fuel injected, so I'm hopeful that it will start. If it does not, then that's a whole nother video of cleaning the gas out and everything that goes along with it. So you can see the fitment now on these wires is going to have to be a little bit changed up. So I'm not quite sure if it's going to fit in there right for me. If not, we might have to put a spacer underneath there to get it, but 9 times out of 10 it should just lock down in there. Alright, let's go ahead and hook up this positive. Like I said, sometimes you got to fight with those nuts down in there a little bit. They tend to not want to be totally centered, but that grease holds it in for us. And you just snug them down. You don't want to over tighten them because you'll strip them out. Put your little covers back on. Actually, on this one, remember I said if you got any extra wires, make sure you put them on now. I keep tucking this one out of the way. This goes to my power box, my booster box back there. And I hear something clicking up in the dash already. So I'm liking that. I know that this bike now has power. The computer and everything is back in working order. Go ahead and get the seat on there. Get those bolts installed on the sides. I'm just going to finger tighten them right now, just to make sure this thing turns over. If not, I'm going to have to go back in and figure it out. All right, let's get this second bolt in here on the seat. Sometimes you got to jiggle that a little bit, the seat, so it'll go in there. And like I said, I'm not going to tighten this up yet. I'm going to make sure I don't need to go back in here and make sure all the connections are good. And let's see if we get some power now. Yeah, I hear the fuel pump kicking on, so I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on a few times. Just to prime that system. If yours is kickstart, you could try to kickstart it. Make sure everything's on. Gas looks like it's full. Let's see if she fires up. First time in 4 years. Alright, so I'm going to turn that key on and off a few times if you've got fuel injected. If you don't, it's not going to matter. Let's try it. This one actually has a choke. It's been so long since I've ridden it. Let's turn the choke on. Prime that system one more time. So we're good to go. I'm happy. I haven't started this bike in 4 years, and I think 2017 was the last time I had it on the road. Yeah, it's been a long time. So this baby needs some love. She needs to go out and stretch out. And I'm going to do a couple more videos just on how to check the oil. Make sure your oil's full on these street bikes, and make sure your tire pressure is up, because you've only got 2 wheels and you want to make sure you're riding good, and those tires are your life. So that's it. Hopefully this video helps you. Check out the other videos. I got a ton of them on there, me and June. So maybe something else you want to fix or learn how to fix, or you got questions, just hit me up. I respond back. But that's it. I could have took this to the shop. Don't forget to tighten up your additional lockdowns on the seat. I'm going to tighten those up now that I know this battery's good to go. And get on the road yourself. Save that money. You know, fix it yourself. Save that money. I'm Keith, 2 Guys How To, and I'm out. Peace. What's up, Iggy? Talk to him before I shut the video down. Oh yeah. Yep. You're not a pig, you're a lawyer. He's not a pig, he's a lawyer. Peace.
I'm not a pig, I'm a lawyer.